Good afternoon and good morning to our attendees from the West Coast as well. Clara Kovacs here as usual. Welcome to Do More with MotoCommerce, our bi-weekly lunch and learn. I'm actually super excited about today's session. We're going to be walking through one of the new features that our tier 3 product team has been working on, something our dealer partners have been asking for, and actually a handful of our dealers have been testing out as well. So MotoCommerce Build and Price. So I actually have Ashwin, who's joining us today. He's one of our senior product managers. So he'll give us a walkthrough to what that looks like in the back end. We'll talk about the features and functionalities that is available within Build and Price. But before we kind of launch in, just for a bit more context to why we even built Build and Price as well. So one of the things was we wanted to ensure that we provided our dealer partners a new engagement opportunity with potential prospects, even when we're struggling with inventory shortages. I know, like, I speak to our dealer partners on a day-to-day basis, and I know it is actually a real challenge and a real struggle. So with our Build and Price feature, you actually have the ability to build out customized carts for your prospects, even if that piece of inventory is not in stock or not yet available. And it also creates an added layer of flexibility when it comes to customization of these carts as well, while still maintaining the opportunity to create an omnichannel experience. So we tested this feature out with some of our dealers as part of our pilot, and what we actually saw that it provided that engagement opportunity, and also even guiding customers deeper in the funnel before that piece of inventory arrives. And we could see that 1 in 5 customers who were invited to MotoCommerce through the Build and Price cart came back and actually engaged with that cart. So that means they either adjusted some of their payment terms or the colors. And 1 in 5 of those who engaged, they actually completed additional transactional steps. So meaning they either submitted their trading information or filled out a credit tab, meaning they deepen the funnel, they engage with you, and you have a higher chance to actually close those transactions. So without further ado, I'm going to pass over to Ashwin. As mentioned, Ashwin is going to run us through to how the whole thing actually works, and we'll talk about how we can have this enabled for you, which brands we currently supported. So Ash, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm excited to run through this because I know it's a really, really cool feature that you guys been working on.
Thanks a lot, Claris. Appreciate that. Happy to be here. So with Build and Price virtual inventory, dealers like yourselves and customers like you can pick exterior colors, interior upholstery options, packages, what have you, which are not available for real inventory that are already built, manufactured, sitting on your lots. So unlike virtual inventory, like real inventory rather, Build and Price continues to have all of the existing features like the adjustable pricing module that you can play around with price on, dealer installed accessories, protection plans, and all of the transaction flow components as well. So all of that continues to remain with Build and Price virtual inventory. Pricing also adjusts automatically based on selections. So if there are packages or options that carry an additional cost as they normally do, or they're residualized at a different rate as the base package, the calculator adjusts in real time. So we're showing the right payments for finance or for lease, as well as the cash price as well. On the dealer side, when you're, as a dealer in the dealer panel, you have a cart of a customer with a number of different orders, some real, some virtual. The Build and Price orders are differentiated with a badge, as well as details of the build, as you can see in the screenshot. Right now, we support Asian brands as well as most European brands with Build and Price. We are looking to expand support to include domestic brands as well as BMW in the near term, and overcome the challenge of having a large volume of options and packages available on those brands.
Awesome. So let's see what that looks like. I'm going to stop sharing now. And then Ashwini is going to jump into the actual environment to what that looks like.
There we go. All right. So, I'm a dealer who wants to add an order for a customer. They were looking for a Mazda SUV. I don't have any in stock at the moment, but I don't want to lose the customer. So the way that I would, continue to engage with them until I'm able to source that vehicle is by using build and price. So I go in, add a customer. Let's say Lois Perez. This is her email address. And I can generate an automatic MotoCommerce invitation for Lois, as soon as I add an order to her cart. But I want to uncheck this because I want to control the messaging. This way, at the end, after I've curated a cart for her, potentially with various orders, with in-stock vehicles, as well as build and price vehicles, I can send her a single link and continue a conversation that I already have going.
With a personalized message as well, I guess that's when you would use that feature, right? So if you check it off, that means it sends it, the link is sent right away. If you don't, then you can personalize your message and copy the link into that message, and then continue the engagement that way.
That's exactly right. So I have a lot more control over the messaging and how I carry the conversation forward. I can also choose to send the lead directly to my CRM. So I've added this customer. I know that they're interested in a CX-9 signature, and they indicated to me that they want a red SUV. So this particular red on this SUV has an additional cost of $300. That gets automatically selected, and it clearly indicates that it's required for this color. This interior upholstery option as well is required for this color, so it's automatically selected. Now, the price that's shown does include this additional cost as well. And lease and finance payments can still be adjusted. So let's say, for example, this customer is interested in a lease, paying weekly, and they want a 24,000 kilometer allowance, and they just want to lease it for 3 years. I can adjust all of that for them, and also add in accessories and protection plans based on the requirements or the needs that they may have indicated to me in their conversation. And I save the build. Simple as that. As you can see here, it gets included in the cart. Now, when I go back to the dealer panel, excuse me. When I go back to the dealer panel, I'll see that the order is included. It's got the details of the build. It's got all the easy links activated here as well. So if I want to drop the customer directly into a particular part of the funnel, we can do that as well. Now, I do know that in addition to the CX-9, there's also another popular Mazda vehicle, Mazda SUV called the CX-5. This is one of our best-selling models, and I think this would be a great option for the customer as well. And so I pick a vehicle, a trim that I believe would be equivalent in terms of features and comfort level for the customer. Again, I know they want red, so select a red. The upholstery, again, this particular upholstery is required, and I can adjust the lease payments accordingly as well.
So basically, we can add mix virtual and real and inventory into a customer's shopping cart.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So if I've got, let's say, only a hatchback in stock, I can add that in and then add virtual inventory for the SUVs that the customer may be interested in. So they actually get to experience it to some extent, and understand what the cost is, how they can build it out, even go as far as changing the configuration if they want to as well. So when I go back to dealer panel, I'll see that I have, for this particular customer, I have 2 build and price vehicles included. Now I'm simply going to copy this vehicle link, send it to my customer in their email, and when the customer receives it, they go directly to that link and they get dropped into their saved vehicles, where they can see all of the vehicles that have been added to their cart. And they say, hey, you know what? I never considered a CX-5 before. Let's check it out. And they go directly to the BDP of that particular build, configured with their specific payment details. At this point, I can choose to even edit the build as a customer. I say, hey, you know what? I don't want a red anymore. I'd rather get blue instead, and save the build accordingly. Now, at this point, I say I have an older vehicle I'd like to trade in. I can jump right into the trade-in funnel. I say, hey, I want to lease the vehicle, so I need to complete a credit application. I can do that online here as well. And then ultimately book an appointment to drive the, to take a test drive. If I want to go so far as, placing a deposit on this vehicle even before doing a test drive, or if I want to do a test drive, come back home, think about it, talk to my family, validate this purchase, and then place a deposit, I can come back in and place a deposit right here on this vehicle.
Yeah, so ultimately customers can do this self-serve, and as we mentioned, the ones who engage with it will see 1 in 5 will complete an additional step, but also the dealerships have the ability to guide customers to these additional steps through the easy links that you were showing earlier as well.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, so it's really cool. Ashwin, thank you very much for running us through. Just to kind of like summarize of what we had discussed. So if you are short on inventory, but you want the ability to engage your prospects or potential prospects, use the build and price feature and get that enabled. We can literally turn it on with a switch of a button. So if you're interested in and you're one of these brands who we are able to support at this moment in time, feel free to reach out to either me or to your dealer success manager, and we'll be able to get this enabled for you. So it creates that ability to seamlessly build those custom vehicles, even if you don't have it in stock yet. And it also provides just an additional layer of car deal customization for our customers as well. So awesome, Ashwin, thank you very much indeed. And thanks to our listeners for joining us. We'll be back again, of course, in 2 weeks' time, September 15th at 12 o'clock. I hope you can join us again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.